What's going on, guys? Hope you're doing well. If you've been following this channel for any amount of time up till now, you may be aware of the fact that I recently moved. About a month and a half ago, I moved into this new house. And you may also be very aware of the fact that I have, let's call them mixed feelings about the place. I came into here initially with a lot of big plans to make a lot of big changes, and things didn't exactly go the way I was expecting they were going to. But all of that said, I am still really eager to start to make some changes in this place that is going to make it feel more like my own, make me happier, make me feel more comfortable. And so this video is going to be the first of what is eventually going to be a series of videos documenting the whole process of me renovating this house from start to finish, turning it into something that I currently feel is very blah, into something that I am absolutely going to hopefully love one day and hopefully feel comfortable in. The very first thing that we're going to be doing this week is getting rid of all of the carpet. So as of right now, there's carpet on the stairs and all upstairs as well. And it was something that I never loved when I first came and saw the house and I saw there was carpeting everywhere. I knew that it was something I would eventually be getting rid of. But I didn't realize what a priority it was going to be. I thought it was kind of just ugly. But all this got kicked into high drive because when I moved in, I scheduled to have a professional come in and shampoo and clean the carpets because I just thought it was a little bit kind of gross to move into somewhere where everybody else has been walking with their bare feet. I'm not going to lie. Like I said before, I have a little bit of germophobia and I'm particularly phobic of human toes. I think they're kind of gross. So the carpet cleaners came in, they shampooed everything, they steam cleaned everything, and I came in the day after, and what I smelt was absolute mildew and wet dog and stink. And so essentially the carpets were so dirty and so disgusting that when they were wet in the cleaning process, it allowed all the bacteria to bloom, and it just smelled god awful in here. It was just horrible. Eventually they did dry out and I sprinkled some baking soda around and it helped with the smell most of the way. But just knowing that I've been walking around in someone else's stinky toe bacteria and God knows what else is not something that I can live with. And so this has now become priority number uno. And today we are going to go get the materials so that we can start renovating the flooring and the stairs. And when it's done, it's going to be clean and it's going to be sexy and it's going to be sleek. And I won't be walking where someone else's toe juice is living. So let's head to the store and get this started. So here I'm at Lowe's and I go, oh, I have plenty of space in my car. There's no problem. Let's just put 31 boxes in. That'll be good. That'll get the upstairs covered, right? I'll come back for the rest because, I don't know how much space I have, but I'm sure I can handle 30 boxes. And as these guys are loading in my car, they're going, this stuff's pretty heavy, right? And I'm looking and the back end of the car is getting lower and lower and lower. And I'm like, oh, I never considered the weight. So apparently I'm probably way over the max capacity load for my vehicle, which is only 4-cylinder. I don't know what that means, but apparently it means it's not very powerful. And I'm very slowly making my way home, which is thankfully not super far, in hopes that I don't wind up doing a wheelie all the way up the road. As we're loading, this customer, he walks by and he watches what they're doing and he goes, oh, you're gonna need about 1,200 pounds in the front seat to even that out. And I'm like, does that mean I should just start eating? So fingers crossed my car's not gonna just randomly combust into flames, but I'm about 5 to 10 minutes from my house now, so I think that we're probably okay. Okay, so I made it, but now the downside is that I have to unload all of this on my own. I know I made a video in the past why you should live alone, why it's so great to live alone, and it is most of the time. However, I don't know, this is probably I'm gonna guess that each package was probably close to between 40 and 50 pounds, and I have 23 of them in the back of my car, so I'm about to move more than 1,000 pounds of materials on my own. So let's see how this goes. It's gonna be a long process. Three down, 20 more to go.
1 hour later.
All right, 14 down, 9 to go. I'm not generally a very sweaty person, but I am sticky, moist everywhere. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna go inside, sit in the air conditioning for a few minutes, get a cold drink, and then I'll come back out and finish the job. All right, finally all done. Honestly, it wasn't as bad as I was worried it was gonna be, but it was still a lot. It was still very heavy. Glad to be done. Gonna lock up the car and head in now. So this is the current state of my stairs. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't have a fear of heights, but I have always been kind of sketched out about going like downstairs without something to hold on to. And now that all the railings are gone and all the carpet is gone, the stairs currently are very, very narrow and there's nothing to hang on to. And it freaks me right out. I wind up coming down here on my bum, I'm not even gonna lie. But let's go upstairs and see what the floor's starting to look like because it's getting better. So much dirt, so much sawdust, everything is absolutely filthy. But over here in my bedroom, we've got some new flooring laid, and honestly, I think it looks great. I gotta tell you, it smells way better in here now that all that stinky ass carpet is gone. Things are in a little bit of disarray, but it looks really good. So here is the end of day 2. All the flooring is done, all the molding is on, and I'm still left with a big gaping hole here where my stairs should be, but tomorrow the stairs should be finished, the job should be done, and it should look really, really good. See you tomorrow. Hey, I love you, let's go. Just a little bit of sawdust. Ugh. Alrighty, it's now the next day. I had actually planned to give you guys a little update last night and show you the final result, but things got a little bit crazy. Basically what happened was that yesterday my workers were supposed to get here at 10:30 a.m. and work till like 7 or 8 at night, but they didn't wind up showing up until 1 p.m., which means they didn't finish the job until 11:30 at night. And while they were working here over the last couple days, they were kicking up so much dust and they were sanding and sawing and there's just dirt everywhere. And the smoke alarms kept seeing these big dust clouds and thinking that it was smoke and started screeching. So they took down all the smoke alarms while they were working. No problem. So as they were finishing up, I said, hey guys, can you just do me a favor and put the smoke alarms back up so that everything's safe when you leave, and then we're good to go. And they did. But the smoke alarms had been unplugged for a day or two, and what happened was the batteries that are in them, the backup batteries, got completely drained. And so when they put them back up, they started chirping and saying low battery. Then they varnished the stairs and said, okay, well, don't walk on them for like an hour or two. We're done. See you later. And they left. And naturally, it was the upstairs smoke alarm that was chirping. Every 60 seconds, it would beep and say low battery. And it was super annoying. But the worst problem is that this guy over here is actually terrified of the sound of smoke alarms. He's generally not an anxious dog at all, but that particular sound, I guess, really hurts his little ears. And every time that it chirped, he was shaking and he was drooling and he was freaking right out. So at 12 o'clock at night, I wound up taking Levi and going into the car and sitting on the driveway for an hour. It was almost 1 a.m. by the time that I was able to come in, go upstairs and pull the batteries out of the alarms so that he would calm down and we could go to bed. Today I have a lot of work to do myself because I have to clean basically the entire house. There is sawdust everywhere. Everything's a total mess right now. So that's my job today. And not only is there sawdust everywhere inside, but the garage, oh, let me show you the garage. But before we go outside, I won't leave you hanging any further. Here's the final result. So as you can see, I'm left with a little bit of a mess here, and that's a little bit of an understatement. This is to date by far the biggest renovation I have ever lived through, and unfortunately this is just the smallest part of what's to come still for this house. I had a couple small things done at my previous house before I moved in, like a backsplash in the countertops, but never before have I had to live through such a mess, such a big, all-consuming mess in the house. I knew that going into this that renovating was going to be both fun and not fun. Obviously, it's really fun to be able to pick out the things that you want in your home and to make it yours and to make it the way you want it to be. But living through the mess, the stress, the chaos, the disarray, and obviously the financial aspect is definitely less than an ideal situation. And to be honest with you, I'm not handling it as well as I had hoped to. This particular project was only 3 days long and it was stressful enough. I've learned that there's essentially 3 ways to have renovations done, depending on the budget and the skills that you have. So the easiest way to have them done is to hire a general contractor or a designer who works with a contractor, and they take care of everything for you. They come in, they show you all your options, they map it all out, they make these pretty rendered drawings to show you what it's going to look like when it's all done, and then they bring in the crew who does all the work, all the cleanup, and when you come back, it's all turnkey ready. You basically just hand off the keys and come back when it's all done. And it's probably a really easy experience, but it's also very, very expensive to do. On the other hand, the most budget-friendly way to do things is just to obviously DIY it, to go get the materials and do the work yourself. And I'd considered it, but honestly, I just don't really know what I'm doing, and I didn't want to risk messing up the product, making all the intricate cuts, doing it wrong, and then having to buy more product and start all over again. What I did was kind of like a hybrid in between. So as you guys saw, I went to the store, I picked out the materials, I brought them home myself, I unloaded them, and then I went online and I found a contractor who could do the job and hired him to come in and let him do the work. I don't have a dumpster on my driveway and they didn't deal with all of the debris and all of the leftover materials. That's now my problem. So my strategy is to, one, give away as much of the stuff as I can. I already have a couple people lined up who want to take some of the old carpet, which will help me out tremendously. And then for all of the under padding and the wood and the scraps and all that kind of stuff, I'm just going to get rid of it little bit by little bit. I could take it to the dump. They'll probably charge me a lot for it. So hopefully get everything all cleaned up sooner rather than later. I think I'm going to be cleaning up sawdust for the next 10 years, I swear to you. But I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I know it's a little bit different than a lot of the content I typically make, but hey, you know what? Let me know your thoughts on the new upgraded stairs and floors. Let me know what you think about it. Personally, I think it's a huge improvement, but I can't wait to share with you guys what the next project is going to be. I'm not going to let you in on too many details just yet. I will let you know that it's going to be a much bigger, kind of all-encompassing project. And I'm just really looking forward to this house starting to come together a little bit more and feel a little bit more like mine. This whole thing's going to take a little while to get together. It's going to be kind of piece by piece. It'll take me a while to find all of the contractors and all of the help. And most importantly, to get all the money together, because renovating is certainly not cheap. But if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all of the future videos and seeing what this place transforms into. Other than that, thank you guys so much as always for watching. I will see you next week. Take care.